Winter Soldier versus Red Hood. Two former sidekicks that were supposedly killed and then came back with a vengeance before settling in as anti-heroes to deliver their own personal form of justice. So what's not to love? But in a fight like this between these two great fighters and assassins, well, who's ultimately coming out on top? And really, is it even gonna be close? Let's get into it. Bucky Barnes was Captain America's sidekick during World War II, only believed to have been killed near the end of the war. However, he was found and brainwashed by the Soviets for the next 50 years, transformed into the deadly assassin, the Winter Soldier. However, now Bucky has taken up arms to defend his own country from the shadows, even taking up the mantle of Captain America for a short time. Unlike his buddy Steve Rogers, Winter Soldier actually doesn't have the super soldier formula, but what he does have is the Infinity formula. Now, this might seem like just a super soldier knockoff, but it's actually a serum produced by the Brotherhood of the Shield in 1652, made from the elixir of life, and was developed by Sir Isaac Newton himself. Yeah, I know. Either way, Bucky actually has been enhanced to the pinnacle of human potential, meaning he's extremely strong, fast, and tough. When you add on Bucky's cybernetic arm, well, he's definitely superhumanly strong. He's been able to casually overpower people, fight against Iron Man, throw around Spider-Man, easily tear through metal. Bucky has even used his robot arm to help him kill frost giants or even destroy a cosmic cube. He can also definitely take a punch. Winter Soldier survived point-blank explosions or straight up being shot. He's regularly taken attacks from super soldiers or even Spider-Man. Bucky has even had Hyperion punch him in the face and didn't straight up die. He's also easily one of the fastest street-level characters in Marvel, on par with Daredevil and Captain America, and is regularly able to dodge gunfire, block bullets, even react to and dodge laser blast or electricity. Winter Soldier is one of the best fighters and assassins on Earth. He's an expert fighter who trained under Captain America and has been fighting for literally decades. He's got no problem with fighting against some of the best fighters in Marvel, regularly fighting on par with Captain America, Daredevil, Hawkeye, and Wolverine, to the point where he's able to take on 3 of those guys at once. He's got no problem with beating whole groups of armed men all by himself, and it's really clear that Bucky fights like a soldier. His goal is to put down his opponent as quickly and effectively as possible. In close-up combat, Winter Soldier really prefers to fight with knives, and he's extremely skilled and deadly with them in his hands. And then from a distance, well, Bucky has a whole big assortment of guns and other weapons. Probably his go-to though are his modified Luger pistols, and the gun is seriously upgraded, to the point where the bullets can injure superhumans or gods like Red Hulk and Ares. On top of that, his arm can launch out blasts of electricity, with even a small flamethrower built in there, and it can unleash a pretty powerful EMP blast as well. This is all the low end of Winter Soldier's gear. If you want to include the time when he was the man on the wall, the secret last defense for Earth against extraterrestrial threats, well, he's got a sniper rifle that's capable of shooting someone on the moon with a vibranium bullet, or gamma bullets capable of taking down people like Hulk or Thor. Jason Todd was the second Robin. That is, until he was brutally murdered by the Joker. However, like all deaths in comics, that didn't last for forever. And after he was resurrected, well, Jason learned that Batman didn't avenge his death and killed the Joker. Hurt and betrayed, Jason turned against Batman and his adopted father, taking on the Joker's old identity, the Red Hood. However, he eventually made his way back to the Bat family He even created his own team of anti-heroes, the Outlaws. Because of his intense training from Batman, Jason was honed into the pinnacle of human potential, just like basically every other member of the Bat family out there. Jason is regularly sending people flying with each attack he lands. Even dudes like Deathstroke. Red Hood isn't even above legit flipping people over his head, even if they weigh hundreds of pounds. Then of course, there's stuff like holding up a collapsing roof for a while during a fire, kicking the door off an airplane when the plane is up in the air, or even punching through the hull of a submarine while underwater. Those are like some superhuman strength feats right there. Red Hood is definitely skirting the realm of super soldier, if you don't want to put him there already. He's also exceptionally tough too. I mean, his armor and helmet are both already completely bulletproof, and that's just scratching the surface. Red Hood is often able to take most attacks no problem. I'm talking attacks from superhumans, massive explosions. Jason has even been near nuclear explosions before. Now, I have no idea how this guy legit survived nukes. I really don't even know how close Jason was to the nukes to begin with. But he did it, so I guess we gotta include it. Finally, when it comes to physicality, Red Hood is plenty fast and agile. He's regularly able to dodge any attack that's coming his way. And of course, I'm not just talking punches or kicks. He's regularly able to dodge bullets and gunfire coming his way. Even bullets from master shots and marksmen, or bullets from legitimately point-blank range. He can take down people with super speed. Even Supergirl is impressed with his speed, agility, and grace. But probably the most impressive thing that Red Hood has going for him is his skill and fighting ability. I mean, for starters, the guy was trained by none other than Batman himself, one of the world's best fighters, maybe the world's best fighter. But then Red Hood had to go and be killed by the Joker. After his resurrection though, well, he traced back Batman's training before Bruce became Batman. He trained with some of the deadliest and most skilled assassins and fighters in the world. That was all after he had already been trained by Batman, who had already been trained by a lot of the same skilled assassins and fighters. So technically, Jason learned from all these people 2 times over. And the second time, well, he didn't have any of the moral restrictions or no killing rule that was placed on him by Batman. And all this skill definitely shows up in Red Hood's fights. I mean, Red Hood is regularly able to take down whole groups of people all by himself. No problem whatsoever. And it's not just no-name thugs either. Jason's even been able to take down whole groups of superhuman assassins before, and done that several times over. He's gotten the upper hand over Batman himself before, a few different times actually. He's beaten Cassandra Cain, beaten Deathstroke, beaten Lady Shiva, he's even beaten a godly possessed Ra's al Ghul before. And unlike every other member of the Bat family, Red Hood has no problem with killing or carrying guns around and using them. And he's both incredibly accurate and has some of the most powerful handguns known to man. He's regularly been able to pierce right through bulletproof armor with no problem. So, who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now, these two characters are actually really similar. 2 expert fighters, master assassins who got no problem with killing, and both were trained by 2 of the best heroes in their respective universes. Heck, they even both came back to life pretty much simultaneously. But I think starting out, it's pretty obvious that Winter Soldier holds a sizable stat advantage over Red Hood. Bucky is stronger, faster, and tougher than Jason. No real question about it. Now, in some areas, it's closer than others. Like, they're pretty close when it comes to speed. Because like all members of the Bat family, Red Hood is a certified bullet dodger. But I think Winter Soldier just edges him out here. He can actually block bullets after they've already been fired, and he's even dodged and blocked lasers and light-based attacks. Red Hood is fairly comparable to Batman. Winter Soldier is fairly comparable to Captain America, and that gives him the slight edge. Now, strength and durability is a bit more clear-cut and dry. Bucky is better than Jason. Red Hood has done some pretty impressive things over the years. He's definitely strong, but I don't think he's actually up there with the best street-level characters in DC. Because like when Batman or Deathstroke are going all out, well, they're clearly in a class above with Red Hood. But for Winter Soldier, well, not only is he just straight up stronger than Red Hood, but his robot arm gives him a serious edge. He's been able to tear through metal with ease. He's thrown around the likes of Iron Man or Spider-Man. He's just consistently more on par with the likes of Captain America or Wolverine than Red Hood is on par with someone like Deathstroke. And before you get started, no, I don't think that Venom is standard for Red Hood, so while it might be worth mentioning, I don't think it's giving the edge to him here. And while Jason definitely has outliers like breaking Supergirl's grip, Bucky's got his own outliers, like crushing a cosmic cube. Winter Soldier is stronger. And if he's stronger, well then you can bet he's tougher. Red Hood can definitely take a hit, and like every member of the Bat family, he's wearing enough armor to the point you can argue he's superhumanly tough. But Bucky is just better. Not only can he do everything that Red Hood has done, but he's taken attacks from Spider-Man. He's been punched in the face by Hyperion. He took an absolute beating from Sin when she was wielding a hammer comparable to Mjolnir. Winter Soldier is definitely superhumanly tough, and he's tougher than Red Hood. Now, one area where you can argue that Red Hood has an edge is in training and skill. He was hand-trained by Batman, by Lady Shiva, by the League of Assassins. He basically went through the same training that Bruce did in order to become Batman, and then did it again. Except the second time around, he learned all the lethal killing stuff. Not that being trained by Captain America isn't great, but it just doesn't quite stack up with being trained by the Batman. However, that is kinda cancelled out by Winter Soldier's experience. He's been kicking butt since long before Red Hood was even alive. He's got literal decades on the guy. And it's not like Winter Soldier isn't a skilled fighter and can't hold his own in a fight. Forget just regularly fighting against Captain America. He's fought against Daredevil, Wolverine, and Hawkeye, all three at the same time. He can definitely match up against Red Hood. And even if Red Hood is more skilled, well, Bucky being stronger, faster, and tougher makes that a moot point. The final straw, though, is Winter Soldier's arm. I mean, forget the fact that it helps Bucky throw a super strong punch, but it also makes all of Jason's tech and weapons obsolete. The arm has some great weapons built into it. It's got knives and a flamethrower and everything. But what will really screw Red Hood over is the EMP. With one move, well, that means no taser, no electric gliding wings, no high-tech variants of batarangs. That's not going to go well for Red Hood. And while Jason is a master of stealth, so is Winter Soldier. With Bucky's domino mask, well, it'll make Red Hood's stealth and camouflage completely useless. Add in the fact that Winter Soldier is an expert shot, literally able to make shots from planets away, and there's no question that Bucky is going to be able to hit Jason. Sure, Jason is probably going to be able to hit Bucky too, but Bucky's gun is way better. Like, good enough to be hurting Ares and Red Hulk. So, who wins here? Well, I think it's gotta be Winter Soldier. He takes the edge in pretty much every category. He's stronger, he's tougher, he's faster. You can argue that Red Hood is a better fighter, but you can also make the same argument for Winter Soldier. And while Red Hood has some great gear, Winter Soldier's gear will make all of that useless, with the arm being the final trump card. This is definitely going to Winter Soldier, and it's not even really close. But what do y'all think? Sound off in the comments down below. I know you're gonna have thoughts and feelings on this one for sure. If you stuck around this long and made it to the end of the video, that's amazing. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting us. And if you want to go subscribe, well, go subscribe. You're going to see more videos like this one every single week. I'll see y'all then. I'll see y'all next time.